Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive. Are you ready to move some serious dirt today?
I am.
Yeah, me too. We're going to be talking about bulldozer operation.
That's right.
So if you've got an interview coming up, you are in the right place. We've got all the goods to get you ready.
Yep. Career guides, interview questions, and even some AI magic from RoleCatcher to really help you nail it.
All right, so the first thing I want to do is just lay the groundwork here. Our career guide, it says something pretty cool about bulldozer operators.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
It says they literally shape the landscape.
It's true. They're not just moving dirt, they're building the foundations for everything. Roads, bridges, even those skyscrapers that make a city skyline.
I never really thought about it like that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it takes a special blend of skills. You need the technical know-how to run these powerful machines.
Right.
But you also need to think like an engineer, understanding those grading and slope calculations to make sure everything's level and safe.
So it's brains and brawn. Awesome. Okay, so let's say you've got your metaphorical hard hat on. You're ready to hop in the driver's seat. What about the interview itself?
Ah, yes, the interview.
So our interview guide has a ton of potential questions. We're going to walk through some of the most common ones, give you some insider tips, even think about some follow-up questions they might throw your way. How does that sound?
It sounds like a plan.
Okay, so let's start with a classic one. What motivated you to become a bulldozer operator?
This is your chance to really shine.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go beyond the obvious, like, it's a job. They want to see that you're passionate about this work.
Right, you've got to have that spark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about what drew you to this field. Was it the power of the machines, the satisfaction of seeing something you built? Maybe it's the challenge itself, mastering those skills.
Totally. And the career guide actually mentions a few things that might resonate. Job stability, high earning potential. Maybe those are things that really speak to you. What speaks to you?
Yeah, write down a few things that really connect with you and get those ready to weave into your answer.
And just a heads up, they might hit you with some follow-ups. Things like, what parts of the job are you most excited about? Or what do you think will be the biggest challenge for you?
Good point.
So here's a sample answer to get you started.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid, I've been fascinated by heavy machinery. Seeing those machines in action, transforming the landscape, it always amazed me. And as I learned more about bulldozer operation, I realized it was the perfect blend of physical skill and technical expertise. That challenge of mastering those skills, the chance to work outdoors on big projects, and that feeling of building something real, that's what really motivates me.
That's a solid start now. Just make it your own.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to another one. What safety measures do you take when operating a bulldozer? This one's all about showing you're serious about safety.
Yeah, safety is huge in this field. It's not just about knowing the rules. It's about showing you really care about keeping everyone safe on site.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the guide, it lists some of the basics,
Hmm.
wearing your PPE, inspecting the machine before you start following all the guidelines, of course.
Right, but what else, what extra steps do you take to make sure things are safe?
So, for example, maybe you have a routine. Before you even start at the bulldozer, you double-check the area for any hazards, or you use a specific communication system to stay in touch with your team.
Those details show you're really thinking about safety all the time.
And they might even ask you about a time you had to deal with a safety issue on the job, or what you'd do if someone wasn't following the rules.
Those follow-up questions, they really test your problem-solving skills and how committed you are to safety.
And here's where RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer. You can practice your answers to these tough questions and get feedback, on your delivery, what you're saying, and even how you're holding yourself.
Yeah, it's like having a personal coach right there giving you tips.
So definitely check that out. Okay, ready for question number 3.
Bring it on.
This one's a favorite. Can you describe a challenging project you worked on as a bulldozer operator?
Ah, yes. This is where you get to show off your skills.
Don't be afraid to talk about a project where things got tough. Maybe there were some setbacks. It's all about how you handle those challenges.
Exactly. They want to see you can problem solve, that you're resilient, and that you learn from your mistakes.
So think about a project that really tested you. Maybe it was tricky terrain or a tight deadline or even a last-minute design change that forced you to rethink things.
The guide recommends a simple framework for your answer. Identify the problem, analyze your options, implement a solution, and most importantly, highlight what you learned from that whole experience.
Walk them through the steps, the decisions you made, and of course the outcome.
And be ready for those follow-up questions like what would you do differently next time, or how did this change how you approach future projects?
And RoleCatcher can help you craft those answers making sure you showcase those key skills and accomplishments.
It's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket.
Okay, we've just scratched the surface here, folks.
That's right.
But don't worry, we'll be back with more interview questions and dive deeper into how RoleCatcher can help you land that dream job. Stay tuned for part 2.
See you there. Welcome back, everyone. You ready for some more interview insights?
Definitely, let's keep this bulldozer rolling.
All right, question number 4. What do you consider to be the most important skills for a bulldozer operator?
Okay, so obviously you need to know how to operate the machine, but they're looking for more than just the basics here.
Right. What are those skills that make you stand out?
The career guide mentions a few things, like being really good at operating heavy machinery, understanding all those safety protocols, being able to read blueprints and plans.
All important, but there's one that might surprise you.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Communication skills.
Really? Communication?
Absolutely. We're not working in a vacuum. You're part of a team, and clear communication is key for everyone's safety and to keep things running smoothly.
Makes sense.
Oh.
So how you talk to your crew, your supervisors, even other tradespeople on the site, that all matters.
And they might ask you to give an example, a time when clear communication was really important on a project, or how you'd handle a miscommunication, or, maybe even a conflict.
Oh, yeah. How you deal with those tricky situations.
Think about all the ways you communicate on the job: hand signals, two-way radios, even those fancy new communication systems.
It's more than just talking.
And you know what? RoleCatcher can really help you here. You can practice those answers, get feedback on your tone, how clearly you're speaking, even your body language.
It's like having a communication coach in your pocket.
Exactly. All right, moving on. Question number 5. This one's all about taking care of your equipment. How do you maintain and repair your equipment?
This shows you're not just a good operator. You take pride in your machine. You understand how to keep it running smoothly.
It's all about responsibility, attention to detail, and being proactive.
The career guide talks about having a regular maintenance routine. Things like inspections, cleaning, lubrication, basic troubleshooting.
Don't be afraid to get specific mention: the types of inspections, the tools you use, how often you check things.
They might even ask about common problems you've run into, like how do you troubleshoot a hydraulic leak?
Be ready to explain how you spot those issues and how you fix them.
Okay, this next question. It can be a little tough, but it's important to address it. Have you ever had any accidents or incidents while operating a bulldozer?
Remember, everyone makes mistakes, especially when you're working with heavy machinery, and things can be unpredictable.
It's not about hiding anything. It's about what you learned from those experiences and how they've made you a better, safer operator.
The career guide suggests focusing on the lessons learned, any changes you made to your safety procedures, and how those experiences have made you a better operator overall.
Maybe you had a close call that taught you to be extra careful about blind spots, or an early mistake that really emphasized the importance of clear communication on site.
Sharing those stories shows you're not afraid to own your mistakes and that you're always learning and growing.
And RoleCatcher can help you frame those answers in a way that highlights your growth and your professionalism.
It's like having someone in your corner helping you navigate those tough interview moments.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about teamwork. How do you communicate with other workers on a job site?
This is all about recognizing that you're part of a bigger team, and communication is essential for coordinating tasks, safety, and keeping the project moving forward.
So think about the different ways you communicate. Hand signals, two-way radios, face-to-face conversations, even those written reports or safety logs.
They might ask you to describe a time when you had to communicate a complex instruction, or how you deal with language barriers or noisy environments.
It's all about showing you can get your message across.
And this is also a great opportunity to highlight your teamwork skills. How you collaborate with others, delegate tasks, and resolve conflicts effectively.
RoleCatcher can actually help you identify those keywords and phrases that hiring managers are looking for, so you can really tailor your answers and make a strong impression.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for successful interviews.
All right, ready for question number 8. This was a little unexpected, but it's becoming more and more common these days. What do you do to minimize your environmental impact while operating a bulldozer?
I love this question. It shows that the interviewer cares about sustainability, and they're looking for someone who shares those values.
I'll be honest, when I first saw this one, I was a little stumped.
Really?
Yeah, we're talking about heavy machinery moving dirt. It's not exactly the first thing that comes to mind when you think about environmental protection.
That's fair, but when you think about it, there are a lot of things bulldozer operators can do to minimize their impact. Using fuel-efficient techniques, minimizing ground disturbance, properly disposing of waste, being mindful of noise pollution.
The career guide actually mentions a bunch of strategies like avoiding sensitive areas, using erosion control measures, and even using biodiesel fuel.
So think about any specific initiatives you've been involved in or any ideas you have for making your work more sustainable.
They might ask you about the biggest environmental challenges you face on the job, or how you stay updated on new regulations and best practices.
This is your chance to show your forward thinking. You care about the long-term sustainability of the industry.
And guess what? RoleCatcher can help you research companies and their environmental policies so you can align your answers with their values and really show you're committed to sustainable practices.
It's like having a personal research assistant helping you find the perfect match.
Okay, one more question for this part, and this one might seem a little out of left field for a bulldozer operator, but it's popping up more and more in interviews across all industries these days. Okay, so what's this curveball question that they're throwing at bulldozer operators?
It's all about those soft skills, you know? How do you handle difficult or upset customers or colleagues?
I mean, we're talking about bulldozers here.
Yeah.
Not exactly a retail situation, right?
True, but think about it. You're interacting with all kinds of people on a job site, supervisors, project managers, engineers, inspectors, other tradespeople. It can get pretty hectic.
And yeah, things don't always go smoothly on those big projects.
Exactly. Tight deadlines, unexpected problems, personality clashes, it all adds up. So this question is really about seeing how you handle those interpersonal challenges. You know, how you stay calm under pressure and navigate those sticky situations when people are stressed or frustrated.
So how should someone approach this kind of question?
The career guide highlights a few key points. First off, stay calm, even if the other person's losing it. You need to keep your cool and avoid making things worse.
Yeah, it makes sense, especially when you're operating heavy machinery.
Right next, active listening. Really pay attention to what the other person is saying. Try to understand their point of view and ask clarifying questions if needed.
Sometimes just feeling heard can really de-escalate things.
Absolutely. And finally, look for that common ground. Is there a solution that works for everyone? Can you compromise and reach an agreement?
Now, if our listener has a specific story that shows these skills in action, that's even better.
Yeah, maybe there was a time when a project hit a snag and you had to work with a frustrated project manager to find a solution. Or maybe you had a disagreement with a colleague about the best way to do something, but you were able to talk it through and come to a resolution.
Those real-life examples make your answer more compelling and show that you can handle those interpersonal challenges with professionalism.
And of course, RoleCatcher can help you practice these kinds of behavioral questions. Get feedback on your delivery, your tone, even your body language.
It's like having a mock interview with a pro who can give you personalized tips.
Exactly. All right, we've covered a lot today, from the technical aspects of operating a bulldozer to those essential people skills that can make all the difference on the job.
But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to that career stages section in the career guide. It's a goldmine for anyone thinking about long-term career growth in this field.
Absolutely. It lays out how your responsibilities change as you gain experience, starting as an entry-level operator all the way up to supervisory and management roles.
And it even features real-life bulldozer operators at different stages of their careers, so you can see what's possible and what it takes to get there.
And speaking of getting there, don't forget about those certifications.
Right, like construction equipment operator and, of course, the bulldozer operator certification.
These certifications show that you're serious about your profession, and they can really boost your career prospects.
And guess what? RoleCatcher can help you research those certifications, find training programs, even connect you with industry pros who can give you advice and support.
It's like having a personalized career roadmap right at your fingertips.
Well, folks, I think we've moved enough dirt for one day.
Yeah, we've covered a ton of ground.
We've talked about interview prep, career insights, and how RoleCatcher can help you land that dream job.
So remember, you've got the skills, the drive, and now the knowledge to ace that interview. Go out there and move some mountains.
And don't forget to check out RoleCatcher. It's the ultimate tool for unlocking your full potential.
Until next time, keep on digging.